Hey man, you need to hear this. If you're looking for fast, cheap, and reliable MUT coins, I highly recommend to check out my sponsor, DMC, Discount MUT Coins, and use code 187 for 10% off at checkout.
Audible to. Not only do you have Heavy Panther in your arsenal, but you can audible to that single back double ace wing and also goal line, all from Panther Heavy. So I want to see if he's just a Panther Heavy player or if he utilizes all three formations.
And on the flip side, Kiv's got to have a little bit of run defense to deal with this formation.
It's not just run defense, it's very unique because you have to account for one more player. Normally with run defense, you don't have to account for the quarterback because he's not a blocker and he's not a ball carrier. Well, in this offense, the quarterback is the primary ball carrier, so there's one more man that you have to account for as a defensive player.
Appreciate all you guys out there in the Twitch chat, spending your Friday evening with the Seahawks Club Championship. Nick Mazesco, Master Gamer, with you. And here we go, first offensive drive of the game, and it is Lamar Jackson taking the handoff, looking for some room up the middle, but nowhere to go. Loss of one.
And it looks like he's going with a spread everyone type of method to stop this Panther Heavy. Try and contain it to the outsides and force him back in.
Jadami facing a 2nd and 11. And with his offense, doesn't want to get behind the clock, as he's going to take an early timeout. And Matt, you've always said using those first half timeouts, always a good reason if you don't feel comfortable.
Absolutely, and that's something that a lot of players don't take enough advantage of. Again, you really don't need them as much. Use them when you need to.
2nd down and 11 for Jadami. Ball's at the 30-yard line. He's going to drop back to pass with Lamar looking underneath. He finds Evan Ingram, that card that Pavin said he wants to play with. That's not a bad tight end to be throwing it to. So he hurries back to the line for a 3rd and 6. So the Heavy Panther on play one. More Heavy Panther here, but he's going to be passing at it for the 2nd time. Rolling left, waiting, looking. He's got John Ross over there. He'll pick up 5. It won't be enough. 4th and short.
Yeah, and it was a nice little crosser over the middle there on that 3rd down, or that 2nd down rather, that a lot of players don't attack in this style of offense.
How about this, an early 4th and 2. Can Kiv get off the field on defense? Can Jadami get a little momentum? How about that? Not only does he have Evan Ingram, he's got a George Kittle out there as well. So some tight ends that can block and run routes. He drops back to pass on 4th down, looks right over the middle. Evan Ingram sits down in the empty part of the zone and picks up a 1st.
And he used that spot route underneath the crosser for a high-low concept, forcing Kiv to use her over the top. That's a great play.
Quickly back to the line, Jadami using pace to try to keep Kiv from too many adjustments in there. 2nd time we've seen Lamar Jackson run out of that Heavy Panther, but so far, Kiv's been prepared.
So far it's been bottled up, but he's only really attacked that right gap. Look to see him attack other areas of the field in these future plays.
That Heavy Panther, it's 4 tight ends out there.
That's a whole lot of tight ends.
Tony Pollard on the right hip of Lamar as he drops back to pass. 5-man rush picked up nicely, looking for Ingram one more time. Good click on Jadavian Clowney laying the lumber.
Now I'm surprised you didn't see a little bit of a swerve from Jadami there, trying to get a better possession catch animation, which he didn't do there, and that probably cost him that 1st down.
Now back into a 3rd and decently long, 3rd and 10 from the 45. Lamar using those hot routes. That's Hall motioning over to the left side, putting 3 receivers on the left side of that line. Lamar dropping back. Oh, he's going to go for it all. Does he have him? That's Dante Hall, and he's to the house. Too much speed over the top, and Jadami opens up the scoring.
And that's a great way to use your players. Use the personnel to get 2 receivers in at tight end in the ace double wing formation, motions them over on a streak, splits the cover 2 safeties, and puts them up 7-0 to start this game.
Well, if you're looking for Jadami just to lay down because he's facing the Madden 18 Madden Bowl champion, that was not going to happen as he starts out on fire.
Now, something worth considering. Oh,
take a look at this. I mean, this is just got lost behind the defense, no user back there, and you can't forget about Dante Hall.
yeah, I mean, we call him the fastest man alive for a reason. Right there, you saw it.
Now we get to see that Kiv offense. Kiv known in the community as an offensive guru. He likes being on the offensive side of the ball, loves to air it out.
Absolutely, and that's why you see so much of his cap spent on offense. He wants to capitalize on his strength, make sure that he's able to score every single possession. So even being down 7-0 like this is not a problem.
How about this? He comes out in that near twins formation, hands it to Randy Moss at fullback, finds some room, and listen, even when there's a meta, Kiv can find a way to use it to his advantage.
Absolutely, and right there was, if he had a couple more speed, he would have been gone. There was no one in front of him. That was just a great touchdown saving play from Shaquem Griffin.
Kiv back into a formation we saw him use quite a bit in Madden 19, that gun punch. Luck rolls left, looking for Randy Moss.
And something we saw in that play is the dashing dead-eye ability. Something that a lot of bunch players are using on this Andrew Luck to be able to throw perfect passes on the run.
Kiv looking to respond to the early touchdown. Luck outside of the pocket. He's going to take off. He'll pick up the first down and wisely steps out of bounds after a gain of 13.
Now, for everybody at home, Kiv is doing a great job at quick snapping and catching Jadami off his user. He's been on the lineman so much more than you ever want to be in a game of Madden.
Moss in motion to the right, quick pressure. He finds Randy Moss near the first down marker. Give him 10, they're gonna call him just short on second down.
And that's a great read with pressure in your face. I mean, it's just so simple. When you're able to see that guy coming wide open, nowhere near the user, with 7-man blitzing, it's gonna be easy all day.
As we're nearing the end of this first quarter, big shout out to all the Seahawks fans in the chat. T. Croft already into the final. Who will join him? This kid will have to call one more play before the end of the first quarter. I formation, and I hand it off to Dante Hall. He burned him one way. Why not use him to your advantage? He'll pick up 2 and a first down, as that should take us to the end of the first.
And like I mentioned in that Jaybird game earlier, Dante Hall at running back is scary. If he gets hit sticked, I'd be worried about fumbling there. So just keep an eye to see if he goes down or if he keeps spinning.
7-0 after 1. It's always interesting to see players using Dante Hall, especially down in the goal line. Like, there's plenty of space. Hall's great out in open space, but in this tight field, he seems more likely to get hit.
Yeah, but he's also able to hit more holes because he's so much smaller. So there's an added benefit there as well.
Logan split wide left. Andrew Luck in the shotgun. He'll take the snap on first and goal. Waiting, looking back at the end zone. Dante Hall can't hang on. Great defensive play, able to pry that ball free.
And he was just close enough to be able to knock that out. Great user by Jadami to make sure he could get there in time, because that was really close to giving up 7 and tying the game. It looks like Kiv's going to come out back in that far tight slots formation, trying to give the ball to Randy Moss. Dante Hall down here in the goal line.
Does come out in that far tight slots. He hands it to Hall, and that one, a walk-in right down the hall goes Dante Hall to tie this ball game up.
And speaking of being able to hit holes, there's one right there, right up the middle, untouched.
Parting like the Red Sea, and we got ourselves a 7-7 ball game. As Kiv with a very methodical drive down the field, wasn't looking for too many big plays, just looking to get down near the end zone where Dante Hall could finish it off.
Absolutely the exact opposite of the drive prior, where Jadami just chucked the ball in a cover 2 beater. Kiv moved down the field play by play, and it ended up scoring by the end of it just the same.
Now we see how Kiv responds after giving up the big play on the first drive. Jadami back in that heavy Panther. Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Takes the run, gets outside, 30, trying to get to the first down marker. He'll get there, give him 11.
Now, something worth mentioning is that Jadami isn't a running style of offense. What that could mean is Kiv might not see the ball for the rest of this half, giving Jadami an advantage going into halftime.
We did see Jadami, though, pass the ball quite a bit. On the first drive out of this heavy Panther, he splits Ingram wide right, drops back to pass. And he's going to take another shot. Palomalu's back there, but Dante Hall's got too much speed. You got to have someone over the top when the Hall is on the run. Touchdown. touchdown for Jadami.
And just as I'm saying, he might chew this clock all the way down to end the half, he just slings it back to the dubbed fastest man alive. And Kiv's got the ball again. The pressure's back on.
2 big plays given up by Kiv's defense, both to Dante Hall. I'll let Hall do some work on the kickoff return down to the 30 as we take a look one more time. Matt, what do you see on this play?
I see the fastest man alive. He just outran him. I mean, that's all there is to it. He put him on a streak and just said, go. He said, alive for 1,000, and just chucked it.
That's the old backyard football play when you just tell your friends, just go out there, just go deep. Go deep, I'll get it to you.
And that's what happened.
And Lamar put it on the money. Now Kiv back on offense. Luck rolling right. Got him, man. That's Torrey Holt. Feet inbounds down to midfield.
And that's a play you see in all tournament. Rolling out of the pocket to pull down that flat defender to throw the corner out over the top.
Luck on 1st and 10 outside of the pocket. He's got a little bit of room. He's going to take a shot down the field. Reed's back there. Can Moss make a play? He can't. Reed with the pick. A perfect read defensively. And Jadami controlled back into his offense's hands.
Wow, and he thought that Jadami was trapped 3. He ran that deep corner cover 3 beater and, well, didn't beat cover 3 enough.
And now Jadami with an opportunity to control this game. So he's going to drop Lamar Jackson into that single back, hands it to Tony Pollard. Lawrence Taylor with a big hit in the hole.
Now, I wonder if he got picked on that play because he was too close to the end zone to get the cover 3 deep zone to drop back.
First turnover of this game, an interception thrown by Kiv. As we near the 3-minute mark in the first half. Lamar, right side. Oh, he went for a hit stick and missed. And now Lamar is in open field. Ladies and gentlemen, Action Jackson is live in living color. Touchdown for Jadami.
Yeah, that's just a mistake on Kiv's part. There was no need to hit stick there. That run could have been contained. It still would have been very difficult. But right there, just hit sticks the open field, and the open field is not Lamar Jackson.
Matt, and let's remember, Kiv is coming off of a Madden 19 year that he wasn't very happy with. He was looking for some momentum, did well at the Classic. What's going on here at the live final?
Well, I think he's trying to be a little too aggressive. We saw in the cover 3 beater and right here. I mean, look, he just hit sticks thin air, and Lamar Jackson was not standing there. He's got to be a little more patient, a little more controlled, and just let the game come to him. Don't try and force anything.
I'll be honest, when I saw that hit stick miss, I had to look down to make sure I didn't accidentally pick up Kiv's controller and do it for him, because I do that all the time. It's one of the hardest things to avoid doing. As Kiv finds Moss over the middle, a lot of room down to the 48-yard line. Looking for a score here, maybe to settle himself down. Yeah,
and right there again, that's back to the patient plays. There's plenty of times. Don't try and force something just because you're down 2 possessions.
And on 1st down, hands it to Hall, nowhere to go.
Yeah, and again, willing to run the ball in this position, just a veteran move by Kiv. He's been around, he knows this game is nowhere near out of reach. If he scores 7 here, he gets ball at a half, and he is perfectly fine.
And you got to think one of the storylines to watch as we go through this game is both these players' mindsets. Kiv's ability to stay in the zone and know he's not out of it. Jadami's ability not to get ahead of himself and make sure he plays the right way as this game goes on.
Absolutely, and the way this half ends is going to determine a lot about the second quarter. Second half, rather.
Dante Hall. So far, Kiv's done a nice job of recognizing when a blitz is coming.
Yeah, and he's identified it well. He's attacked it very well. I don't think we've seen him really pressured once. The pressures came in, but Kiv has yet to be pressured mentally.
Inside the 50 at the 42-yard line. Luck dropping back, 4-man rush. Trying to take off with Luck. He has some room.
Great slide.
Pick up 8 yards and avoids the hit.
Absolutely, and something worth mentioning on offense and defense. Right now, Jadami is giving a lot of pre-snap tells. I'm curious to see if Kiv keys in on a lot of these.
Luck dropping back. Big blitz picked up nicely. Not a lot of coverage back there. He finds Randy Moss on the in route, and just like that, young Kiv's in position to cut this to a 1-score game.
Absolutely, like I said, cool, calm, collected, knows the situation, knows he's just fine as long as he gets 7 here.
Minute 4 remaining in the half. Croft watching back in the lounge, scouting his future opponents, who he knows very well. As we said, 3 of these 4 guys, Jadami, Kiv, and Croft, were all in the Seahawks Club Championship last year. 1st and 10 for Kiv. Trying to find somebody, nobody's open. A lot of secondary players back there, and that's the tough part about red zone offenses. It's a compressed pace.
Absolutely, the red zone's one of the hardest places to score every single year. This year is no different.
Lock on 2nd and 10. Gonna have to throw it away one more time. Jadami's pass defense standing tall.
Yeah, and speaking on those tails, at least on the defense side, to me, looks like Jadami's only blitzing when those linebackers are in the gap. Every other time he's played coverage, you'd want to avoid those tails at all costs.
Loss split wide left. Is once again only a 3-man rush from Jadami. He looks for the vertical. Pruitt holds onto the ball through the contact.
Wow, the 14 cap god, Michael Pruitt. That's why he's on my team. Quite frankly, I've seen him do some wild things this year, so that doesn't even surprise me. I know I played my guy VY Electrify and just chucked a streak to him, and he put it down with 3 people in coverage and did not care.
Mike Cole saying, my ball. 1st and goal. Dante Hall. Why not?
And this is the situation we described, right?
Come on.
Down 7, going into half, probably getting the ball unless something goes wrong. And he's right back in this.
Jadami, no timeouts remaining. And that's the professionalism of Kiv on display. Goes down by 2 scores, no panic. Just puts together a nice little touchdown drive, using up most of the 2nd quarter clock.
Now, the one thing that Kiv can't do is allow Jadami to score with 40 seconds left in this half, because that will be painful going into the next quarter of football.
Jadami back in that heavy Panther.
Looks like a different defense from Kiv.
Maybe switching it up after giving up a couple big touchdowns over the top. Hasn't been the run game out of this. It's been the passing game that has been a killer. Jackson. Rolling. Waiting.
Come on.
Looking from over the top. Batted up in the air.
Let's go.
That's an easiest pick that Denzel Ward's ever had, and he returns it. 40 to the 44-yard line. Kiv back in this ballgame with a turnover of his own.
And if you're Jadami, you just can't do that. You have escape artist, fast break, Lamar Jackson, just scramble. Don't force anything you don't have to force when you're already up 7.
Kiv, all 3 timeouts remaining, down by 7. He's got the crosser
Let's
over the
go.
top, looking
Come
for
on.
Hall, drop it in the bucket, and get into the
Come
end
on.
zone just like that. You blink and you miss it. Kiv only down by 1.
And keep in mind, that was the same exact play he threw a pick on earlier.
Nothing
He had
here.
more space, which means it's going to be wide open for an easy touchdown. You can't, you can't end this quarter like this if you're Jadami.
Some people might have gone to get a snack when it was 21-7 Jadami. They come back with their peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's a 21-all ball game.
And that's a really bad end of the quarter if you're Jadami. You have control of this game as of now, and look right here. I mean, an easy cover 3 beater for Kiv. You can't give that up. You just can't do that.
Let's go. Come on.
Kiv and Jadami putting on a show for the Seahawks fans at home, for the fans of Madden NFL 20 at home. 21-all, we're not even at halftime. Buckle your seatbelts. Jackson trying to find some room on the right side. Last time these two met up, it was the Madden 18 Seattle Club semis. Kiv won that game 23-10. They're already outpacing that score.
In the first half alone.
Jackson on 2nd and 2. What an adjustment by Kiv, making sure that seam isn't open. Up the left side, but no time left on the clock, and we will hit halftime. Matt back and forth, but we end up going into the 3rd quarter the way we started. Everyone's all square with 10 minutes to play.
Yeah, and I noticed on a few of those plays, Jadami's kind of had happy feet in the pocket. He couldn't stand still. but he wasn't scrambling either. He was just kind of moving around for the sake of moving around. You don't want to do that. That could be a sign of nerves. I don't know what it is. Oh, didn't return that one. But he's got to be a lot more controlled, and just he can't end this game the way he ended that quarter. All you got to do, knowing it's the end of the half, put those deep half zones from those outside corners, and you won't get bombed there. You just can't play that aggressive to end the quarter.
What adjustment have you seen from Kiv, making sure he doesn't give that bomb over the top to Dante Hall defensively?
I mean, he's just not sitting in cover 2. That's really all there is to it. He was getting outran by Dante Hall in cover 2, and he just left it.
1st and 10, Moss up the middle. He's got a lot of room inside the 40. Swerve move.
Come on.
It's Randy. It's Dandy. He's into the end zone. And young Kiv, after being down 21-7, has just rattled off 3 unanswered touchdowns.
Yeah, and there it goes for Jadami.
Come on, one stop.
The game was in his hands, and he just threw that away. Now the question is, can he regain? This is the spot. This is where we see if you're built. Can you regain from this point differential of that second quarter, and we'll count that too, and win this ball game?
So we take a look one more time. Randy Moss. Look at this swerve. Just see ya.
And that was so extra. He didn't have to do that, but he did it anyways just because. He could have outran him to the outside.
Come on.
Now one play, one touchdown here in the second half. What sort of response does Jadami have? Motions Kittle to the right side. Jackson right up the middle. He'll pick up 4.
That was interesting. I'm not sure how confident Kiv is in this run D because it's the second run D he went to. Normally we were a lot less comfortable in that secondary run defense.
2nd and 6. Jackson waiting, looking. He's going to take off. He'll slide down to the 42-yard line, pick it up at 12. Nice job there, not forcing the ball into coverage.
Absolutely. There's no spy in the field. Just scramble. You got the fastest quarterback in the game. Make use of him.
Decroft waiting, watching. It's been changing by the minute as to who he thinks he's going to be playing in the Seahawks club final coming up next. Jackson. Nice tackle on the interior, still picks up 5.
And I haven't talked to Decroft about this, but I know if you're Decroft, you got to be worried here. You came into this tournament expecting to play Kiv in round 2. You have your team built to stop Kiv in round 2, not Jadami and Heavy Panther. So you're really kind of hoping Kiv pulls it out, even though he's the favorite.
I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say he was hoping to play Kiv. I don't know if anybody wants to play this guy. Jackson. What a use of the playmaker there. So many people at home, myself included, used to playmakering just up the field, but right there, Kiv brings Ingram back inside.
Absolutely. I mean, just really good use, knowing your field, just good field awareness. That's all there is to it. Being calm, being patient, not trying to do too much. Just get a nice little completion.
Now Jackson on 1st and 10.
Oh, that could have been a huge run had he not tripped. Everybody was on the floor.
Credit to the D-line of Kiv, able to get some push up front. 4-man rush from that Kiv defense. Over the middle, Evan Ingram. Boy, how good has this Ingram been?
Yeah, but that was close. That ball almost got knocked loose over the middle of the field, and that could have very well ended in a pick. That was very fortunate to not get hit stick right there.
Seems like when Jadami's needed a key 10 to 11-yard pickup, he's been looking for Evan Ingram. Jackson looks underneath. That's John Ross. And Kiv almost hit stick his own player.
Yeah, a few missed hit sticks this game from Kiv. Jadami capitalized on that one play for a huge touchdown, but only really gained 3 yards right there.
A 2nd and 7. Outside for Jackson, but Palomalu says, hold on there, young fella.
Now, Palomalu is some of the highest block shed in the game, and he does a great use of it there, getting off that block, saving a big play.
We near the end of the 3rd quarter. It's 3rd and 5 for Jadami, down by 7. You gotta feel absolutely shell-shocked. Jackson.
Oh.
Just got dumped off.
Jadami had a wide open.
Oh, I was wondering if I was looking at that like that was he had A on the other side of the field.
He had all day in the pocket and just didn't see him for an open touchdown. That would have been so huge.
1st and 10, Jackson has Taylor with a greeting in the middle of that defense.
Interesting to see Kiv go back to his original defense. And I'm surprised again from Jadami taking up that same gap that was the only really run that got clogged when he ran it before.
Well, who knows how this one's going to end. We only got 5 minutes left. Kiv with a 7-point lead. Jadami on the drive. 4's up. Lamar outside the pocket. Oh, he thought about throwing that one. Wisely pulls it down and picks up 10.
I don't know if Kiv meant to click onto that guy because he was so deep downfield. I don't know if he expected it, but it worked really well.
3rd down and 1.
My guess is a QB blast here. And that's what we see.
A fighting forward. That's just holding forward on the left stick and praying and hoping.
That's the version of Lamar we like to call the llama, just fighting for those extra yards.
Jackson on 1st and goal. Only a 3-man rush from Kiv. And Jadami wisely gets out of there and throws that ball away.
Yeah, and I mentioned before how he kind of had happy feet. Well, that was just a great job staying in the pocket as long as you can and making sure a negative play didn't happen. That was great.
.401 to go in this, our 2nd semifinal.
Looks like he audibled in the goal line.
He's got Pollard at the top of that eye. Lamar dropping back.
Oh,
pressure up the middle. He has a man wide open, but it's an inaccurate pass. And Ravens fans at home going, I've seen this before, and it's no good.
Oh, that's gotta hurt if you're Jadami. You just gotta set your feet there and you have the freest touchdown you could ever ask for.
How does Jadami recover after the sure touchdown? Sails into the 4th row.
I fully expect coverage here from Kiv. Not wanting to give up anything for free.
He sent the blitz on the last play. It didn't work. Now he only sends 3. Waiting, finds Ross. Ward with a big hit. Palomalo with a big hit. John Ross, though, holds on to that ball. Where are you going here? 4th and goal, down by 7. Are you kicking? Or are you trying to tie this game up?
You know, it really depends on how confident you are in the red zone. And if you're in a formation like this, you got to consider just running blast, honestly. You can get those 4 yards. But we'll see what Jadami elects to do. He hasn't really shown the propensity to run a run on 4th and short.
Could this be the play we look back on as deciding this game? 4th and goal, and Jadami's going to go for it with Lamar Jackson. Here comes the pressure. Gets rid of it. George Kittle hit. It falls incomplete. It looked like he had a chance to get it on the rebound, but George Kittle couldn't come down with a catch, and Kiv gets a massive stop. Coming up next, do not miss it. D-Crop versus the winner of this game. Will it be Jadami? Will it be young Kiv? We'll find out about 3:15.
Wow, and Jadami's last chance here is to try and force a safety, which can be very hard against this far tight slot formation.
Hall up the middle, picks up 3.
And Kiv is smart here. This is something that annoyed me when I was watching D-Crop play. He wasn't playing passes enough when he got forced onto his own 10-yard line. You just got to come out in a formation where you're probably not going to lose yards and get your back from off of that goal line to make the rest of the drive a lot simpler.
2nd and 7 for Kiv. Landed to Hall. Oh, he's got a lot of space. You can't give Dante Hall all that room. Count down with me as he'll lie down at the 26-yard line, and Kiv can taste that final.
And what a change of events in this game. Jadami was up 21-7, and now a 21 unanswered run from Kiv with ball in field goal range with the clock chewing and 2 minutes left. I mean, what a great comeback, but also just an unfortunate fold from Jadami.
And Matt, we've seen all weekend, we've been talking about time management. Do you like the call to fall on the ball, or was it a little early? Jadami has all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, if you're going to fall, I feel like you want to fall a little closer to the end zone. Personally, I like to score there because I don't think he's in a position to score twice, but I know Kiv does like to fall down. That's just his personal preference, so I'm not going to say really, because when it comes down to his preference in this spot, I don't think this is one of those certain you should do this or you should do that because he does have those 3 timeouts.
Well, it may be November, but it feels like the 4th of July with the amount of fireworks we've had here in this second semifinal. And young Kiv on the verge of yet another Seahawks club final. Decroft waiting in the wings.
Absolutely, and it looks like after that first down, really second in inches, but if he can't get inches, he wouldn't have been here by now, that this game is going to end. Kiv is going to be advancing into the finals to play Decroft, the game that everybody's been waiting for.
Now you still got to play it on the field, and for a while there, it looked like we might not get the final that so many people were asking for online. But just when you think Kiv's on the mat, gets up for round 2 and lays a knockout. As we will hit zeros on the clock, Kiv, 21 unanswered to take this semifinal number 2, 28-21.
Man, what an ending.
Never played Panther like that?
That second quarter.
Yeah, I saw him playing W and
And we look back on that late interception in the second quarter by Jadami that allowed Kiv to tie it up with ball after half.
Yeah, I mean, that second quarter last minute stretch for Jadami crushed him. It absolutely crushed him, and it was all avoidable.
Young Kiv on to the finals. He will take on Decroft for the right to be crowned the Seahawks Club Championship. Let's take a look back. If you missed it, buckle in, because this is quite a set of highlights. Young Kiv and Jadami, and we started out with Dante Hall for Jadami out of that heavy Panther. He's airing it out.
Yeah, and this is a great way that he utilized the Dante Hall to attack this run defense that Kiv was in. And he did it again right here, just on the other side of the formation, going over the top to Dante Hall for 6.
Yeah, that wasn't like we played the same play over again. He just found Dante Hall one more time. And look at this missed hit stick, and Lamar Jackson in open field. Forget about it.
And in this point of the game, you're thinking, well, now, wait a second. Jadami's in a spot where he could really win this game. And it looked like that going into that last minute of that second quarter, and then it all went awry.
Kiv head in hands, but Michael Pruitt with the catch, and Dante Hall finishes the drive off to get it to 21-14, and this the play that may have turned it all around for Kiv. Down by 7, under 40 to go. Jadami an ill-advised throw.
Yeah, and it was just so unnecessary. There's no need to do that. You gotta be a little more passive when you're up 7 with the ball. Just end the half.
And guess what? With 27 seconds left, he only needed one play to find the end zone. The crosser comes across the field, and who else but Dante Hall?
Like, why are you pressing there is my thing. You can't press there. Play more passive. There's 20 seconds left.
And Randy Moss says, yo, Kiv, I got the winner right here. Give me the ball. I'll find the end zone. And that was all Kiv would need. 4th and goal. The defense stands tall. George Kittle can't come up with it. And Jadami, he's got to be thinking, man, where did I go wrong?
Well, I could tell you, that's throwing that pick. That started it all. That's probably a 10-point swing at the end of the half that you cannot allow yourself to give up, especially when you have the ball.
Young Kiv with the win in our semifinal number 2, 28-21. As we take a look at our bracket, Decroft, a dominant opening game. Kiv, it was a little dicey, but you get the final that a lot of people were asking for. Decroft and Young Kiv for the Seahawks Club Championship. Let's throw it over to Evan, who's standing with Young Kiv.
Thanks, Nick. It's exciting, man. You made a lot of people happy to see this matchup coming up in the finals now, but it didn't start off so well for you. There was obviously a little bit of time to get back in rhythm in the beginning of that match.
Yeah, it started out pretty crazy. I got down 14, and luckily I was able to score, and then I got that big pick before half. I had 3 timeouts, and he didn't have any timeouts, and it was like 40 seconds left. So I thought he might try to kind of force something, and I was able to get him to force something, and luckily I was able to get the tip pick, and then I ended up bombing him the next play. So it was a huge swing of events. I went 21-21 at half, and then I was able to score out of half and basically just kind of seal it from there. I just played solid defense after that.
I mean, it was an impressive performance because going down and then coming back up, and then now knowing that you're in the lead, playing differently. But that lead happened at the start of the third. You had that Randy Moss breakaway run. You did a little fake left, right, and you took it for the TD. How did that feel, and what kind of did that lead into for the second half?
It gave me a lot of momentum. I don't run the ball a lot, so whenever if I do and I get a big play, it feels good.
You're popping off.
With running the ball for me, if I run the ball and I score, that's like a freebie. That's like just gifted me a touchdown right there. I didn't have to work at all for it. So felt super good getting that touchdown with Randy Moss.
It was easy to see, too. You were very excited. You were getting animated with it. And running is something that's so prevalent in Madden 20. You still stick with the pass. It's worked so well with you. We've seen it not work. I mean, we saw 7 interceptions in a game earlier today. So it seemed to still be a part of your rhythm, and that's good. Looking forward now, you've obviously got Decroft that you beat last year in the Seahawks final, looking to get your back-to-back. How do you feel going up against him, knowing he's prepared? He understands what you're going to be bringing to the table.
I've been preparing for him for months, so
okay.
I'm super locked in. I knew he was playing in this event, and I knew that he's a tough competitor, so I've been preparing for him for months. Can't count how many times I've watched film of him, so let's hope that the preparation works off, and I can become the Seahawks champion.
And when elaborate a little bit. What did you see in that film? What does he tend to do?
I'm not gonna give away
let
anything.
Your play talk about it. Okay.
I've just been preparing for him for a long time, so hopefully it can work out.
What about being a Seahawks fan as well? You're repping the gear here, but you live in Washington, right?
Yeah, I actually live in Edmonds. Shout out Edmonds. It's like 15, 20 minutes outside of Seattle. And I've been a Seahawks fan my whole life. I remember watching the Super Bowl back in like 2005 or 2006. Big Ben was at the 1-yard line, and he ran the QB sneak, and it was like controversial call, and that was like the first big football game I watched. So I've been a Seahawks fan ever since then, through the bad years and the good years. And we got Russell Wilson, the MVP of the league. So
is he your favorite player?
One of them.
One of them. All right. Well, thanks, man. It's been great talking to you. Great seeing you again from the Classic. Now here doing so well. We will be seeing you in the finals, though. So this man will be on your screens very, very soon. Our Seahawks final.